What is up, everyone? Today we're reacting to The Secret Adult, by the way, which means prawn. It means no, yeah, like yeah. So to say that word, it's a secret adult gaming platform that's bigger than Steam. I have no idea where we're going.
No clue.
I have no clue. So let's go. I'm excited.
This ordinary building in the heart of Montreal is home to
Canada?
a mysterious game studio that, out of nowhere, became the world's largest platform of adult games. From a struggling game studio, they outgrew Steam in player numbers shockingly fast.
That's
Too
wild
fast.
to me.
Ironically, their games pop up on Steam, famous YouTubers promote them, and yet no one knows who they really are. Officially, they go by Nutaku, or the Steamy Steam that wants to revolutionize the games industry.
It's wild to me that there's a Canadian company from Montreal,
Yeah.
where French is the first language, called Nutaku. Like, they're clearly LARPing as a Japanese game company. It was even anime nudie characters.
Yeah.
So they're just like, they're. I think of George St. Pierre when I think of Montreal. That's the MMA fighter.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, this is...
one hand at a time, so to say. But as a marketer myself, their instant success did raise my eyebrows. I asked for interviews, but was denied every single time. And so I kept digging to uncover their three-part strategy to success, why they're so secretive, and who's really pulling the strings behind these.
Why? It feels like I'm watching Spy Kids.
What? Yeah. So why is she confused that people that this blew up out of nowhere?
I'm not gonna say that it's because it's a girl making this video, but I think it says something that the two guys watching are like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then she's like, how could this possibly have happened?
Oops. All right, makes sense to me.
She even says, she's like, massively famous YouTubers have played these on stream, and there's naked anime girls, and everyone else is like, that's two of the three-part strategy. What's the third-part strategy?
Could you imagine playing this on Twitch?
No.
That's so awkward.
That's wild.
What is happening?
That's wild.
Closed doors. Exploring the world of Nutaku wasn't just an eye-opener.
I feel like all of this is actually just an elaborate cover-up to being caught playing a game.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I'm doing this for research.
Her script is as bad as porn scripts.
I think she's...
She's
She's selling the video, bro. She's trying to get average view duration up. She has to get a hook in the beginning. I think she's doing a good job, bro. Come on, man.
Popper.
Whoa.
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 Okay.
The things I saw, I wish I could unsee them. But hey,
so now we have more specifications. She didn't just got caught playing a steamy anime girl game. She got playing some degenerate furry Tyrannosaurus pawn. And she's like, no, baby, it's not what you think.
My arms might be tiny, but there's something big downstairs. Oh, no.
There's strategies that you really want to stick around for. Because before their rapid growth, they too were just another little small struggling game studio trying to survive in an industry where less than 1% of games find success. You know what I'm talking about. And so, as Super Hippo Studios, they released a couple of titles which didn't really click with players.
That looks adorable.
One of their tower defense games managed to be on the App Store's front page, but it lost against Plants vs. Zombies 2, which launched just the same week. It's tough for any new game studio to stand out these days, and many give up, and they too were about to throw in the towel. But then, out of the blue,
and they thought, why would I throw away a perfectly good comrade? We keep the towel. In fact, we ordered several hundred more. They said, okay, no one's loading our game, so we have to figure out how to get their loads.
Yeah.
That's our only option.
They decided to shift to an industry that's not any less challenging. But
how did their production? Don't lie. This is not their game. We saw their game. This is a design that's way nicer than the games that we saw.
Less crowded, adult games, lucrative, untapped potential, and in dire need of quality gameplay. And so Super Hippo Studios rebranded as Nutaku to capitalize on this untapped market.
I honestly, whenever I get advertisements for these games, I always think this must be a virus.
Yeah, that's what I always think.
I'm like, this is not real.
They're trying to steal my information.
Yeah, that's all I think.
Yeah. A no-brainer, as we all know, sells. In fact, adult games have been around since the 70s with the likes of Leisure Suit Larry and
Leisure Suit Larry
Adventures on DOS. But then Nintendo in the 90s made gaming all about kids. How could they? And so sex and violence in games sparked overreactions, and the ratings board was introduced with the kiss of death label, adults only. Any
Pause. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Hot take?
Yeah.
I think that maybe that is a good thing to label whether there is going to be, boobage, vajayjay, maybe a phallus,
Yeah.
or gratuitous violence in the
Yeah.
game that's being played.
Yeah.
I think that's a good. It's being presented like it's bad. I think I'm not a video game expert.
As a libertarian, I'm offended that you even call yourself a libertarian.
Whoa, this isn't a governmental agency. This is a full different ratings. It's an independent ratings agency.
Oh, okay, all right,
If anything, I feel
you
like
got me there.
Libertarians would this is perfect. This is the free market establishing but I think I'm not really a libertarian. We said that the other, I'm more like, I need to think of a good sexy title. I'm like a menarchist, but that
Menarchist.
Is it a menarchist? Like I think men should be anarchists. No, it's like minimum, like as small as government as possible.
I see, yeah.
game with this label just sells less copies. And just like that, Western adult games...
Yes, because that's good.
Yeah.
Because parents aren't buying it for their children unknowingly. Like if your game being labeled adult is leading to less copies, think about what you just said. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That you don't want, regardless of your stance on prawn, you shouldn't want, developing minds getting nuked by playing, anime booby games when they're 5, man.
Went quiet. Now game makers try to sneak in love by tiptoeing around that label.
Whoa.
Alien romance options, CJ in a secret minigame, skippable scenes in The Witcher, and Cyberpunk. No idea how they managed to dodge the adults-only label with a mere 17+ rating. Nutaku, however, has a leg up. No tiptoeing required. With over 500 games, both free-to-play and paid, they even attracted a fast-growing female audience that proudly brags about their, pet interruptions. That's not your everyday game stat, is it? But hey, they're so profitable now, they even help struggling game developers who didn't make it in the traditional games market. They take their games that didn't make it on Steam and adultify them. That's a huge part of their core business. Crush.
Oh, it sucks, man. Thank you so much for telling me about your struggles. Your dream was always to make, entertainment that could be enjoyed by everybody. Because, you really connected with your dad who died when you would play, Super Smash. It was the only time you got with him. So I understand why you're trying to make games. And so disappointing they're not really connecting.
Yeah, so we're going to say Super Smash, but just in a different way.
Have you considered that what's holding you back is your...
morals and scruples?
Have you considered adding vaginas? Have you thought about that yet? I just think that might really... I know you wanted to make a wholesome, family-friendly game.
But try cleavage.
Have you thought Alabama?
Yeah.
Crush, for instance.
Can you imagine if it was unsuccessful movies? Or unsuccessful, in any other venture.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just have you thought about just turning it into porn?
Sad Panda didn't really take off on Steam. So Nutaku funded some, enhancements, and the game is now a hit on Nutaku. The company motto clearly states that they don't gamify porn, but adultify great games. A trend that's been taken off on Steam too, judging by these charts. And so it seems that Nutaku's company mission is working. Democratizing adult games one hand at a time. But that's not
I don't feel like they're democratizing. I feel like they're scavenging. Horny crap.
when there's a big stigma around adult games. They're considered cheap, low-quality porn with bad to no gameplay. Even Mr. Nintendo chimed in with a pointed critique about their bad game design.
Did you see the rest of the quote? I'm not going to read it.
Nintendo chimed in with a pointed critique about their
Often I'll see advertisements for prawn games, and they say try not to coom. But then when you play the game, it seems like the object is to coom. So I guess I would call that bad game design. He's like, why are they misleading their audience? Why?
Bad game design. And when Fall Guys ran a campaign inviting brands to create costumes through bidding, Nutaku offered $100,000 for the design. But Fall Guys' response, you are yeeted. So breaking the stigma is tough, even if there's
Fall
huge
Guys is
demand.
like a children's game.
Yeah.
What? Next thing you're going to be like, you know what? Bluey?
Yeah.
Or Teletubbies? Like, come on, no. Of course, like, it's one thing if it's a parody, right? But you're asking them to put it in a children's game?
Bluey's probably in this.
No, come on. Oh, the furries.
The furries,
The furries,
And for it. Among the top searches on Pornhub, game characters rule. Fortnite, Overwatch, Minecraft,
That's not a good thing, guys.
Chun-Li, Tifa, and Sonic the Hedgehog. In any case, you see, there's a
Minecraft
gap
is
between
shocking.
public perception.
Minecraft isn't shocking to me.
Really?
Only because I'm assuming the demographic that is searching for this is a specific age group. That is... Oh. You guys see my nightmare desktop. All right, there we go. You know what? Another channel will cut. Whatever. We're running it. You got a preview of possible other reactions there. Lucky you. Ooh, Easter egg. Easter egg.
And consumption. A gap.
Oh, I was saying, I think it's kids. It's kids, primarily. That's why, like, that's the secret, I feel like, that a lot of porn studios and, like, Pornhub and even these game designers, they don't want to say, is that most of the people that are accessing this, I think, are kids and, like, teenagers.
Yeah.
That's why it's Minecraft. I don't think there's, like, grown-ups that are having there's not that many grown-ups with a Minecraft fetish that they're boosting the Minecraft porn searches that high, dude.
I'm just trying to get into the head of like little Alex. I went from JCPenney bra magazines underneath my bed, and then and worked my way up.
But that's because we were millennials. We didn't have access to unfettered internet. We're not iPad babies.
Minecraft?
Yeah, man, because it's whatever you're consuming, they're looking for Rule 34 of whatever they're consuming.
Rule 30. Yeah, that's fair.
It's
fair.
Minecraft, so they're like, oh, I like Minecraft, therefore I will want booby Minecraft. Or like, oh, I watch Overwatch, therefore I want booby Overwatch.
Interesting.
I think it's just proximity.
Okay,
it's like
fair enough.
proximity and then horniness.
Yeah.
Otaku.
And that is like 11-year-olds.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
that's what I
really
think.
wanted to bridge. But how do you bridge this gap if you're just a struggling game studio in dire need to survive?
It's actually really
In
sad.
order to survive, you've got to figure out what your audience wants but isn't getting. In Otaku's case, that was the anime fans, big lovers of Japanese culture and gaming, but overlooked in the West. And what's the common denominator of anime porn in Japan? Exactly. Hentai. Visual novels with explicit content. A style of Japanese erotic art that's
I think
centuries old and usually featured octopus tentacles to work around censorship. And still today, hentai
I don't
is
think it was to work around censorship. Just to be
Yeah,
clear.
yeah.
I think it was more like the furry thing. I think it
yeah.
was like, no, we would have drawn a phallus if we wanted to. We specifically wanted this squid to be like several suckers deep in this woman. Like, I also think she's giving him way too much credit. Porn games have been popular in Japan forever.
Yeah. Yep.
Forever. I think it's just easy to be like, oh, this is popular in Japan. Japanese products are popular in US, but for some reason these aren't getting translated and put into an easy to buy format in US, so there's a hole in the market. I feel like it's that simple.
Yeah. I'm shocked at how old the tentacle porn thing is.
Really?
I did not know it was
Yeah,
that
like
old.
woodblock carvings.
What?
Isn't that wild?
That is interesting history.
Isn't that wild?
Wow.
People have been freaky a long time.
That's
the most
crazy.
searched for term on, hubs. A clear
See,
gold
look,
mine.
dude, if you look at like
And
the
still
age group
today,
that's into
hentai-
these things, Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's kids,
It's
dude.
the most searched for term on, hubs. A clear gold mine for an otaku. But rather than starting from scratch, they just turned to the east and teamed up with a big Japanese game developer who got it all figured out.
Oh, they're just
DMM.
distributing.
Otaku said, hey DMM, let me take your games and we localize them for the Western market. That's a smart move. Take existing game, localize it, sell it in the West. You'd think that's it, cash cow found. But with that, they faced a huge challenge because hentai has a really bad reputation in the West. Underage themes, misogyny, acts of violence, and many, many other things. But Otaku said, nope, we'll stick to the genre, but we'll put gameplay first and erotic second, and offer all sorts of genres for every sort of orientation. And that's why their website has everything to offer, from visual novels, puzzle and card games, to strategy, RPG, and even
That game
FPS.
looks sick.
Games with rich stories.
With the Hex, I'm a sucker for Hex tactical games, and they're not made enough. Honestly, I know this is probably more lucrative, but if in another dimension they focused on Hex-based strategy games, and I'm like their biggest fan.
You progress
Catan
your
porn.
Yeah.
unlock more and more skin. Or you can also jump right into the fun part and check out gay, trans, or whatever that is, dinosaurs. No one's left behind. A smart strategic move, inclusivity, and good gameplay. Such good gameplay, even PewDiePie became a very special CEO.
Go to the map and visit one of the caves. Oof. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I'll definitely buy it.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level of corporate performance reviews, don't you think? In any case, just like that, Nutaku was able to double their female audience and drew in 1 million players in their first year alone.
I didn't know there were so many female porn game players.
I
That's what's wild to me is they keep on being like, we doubled our female audience by starting to make porn. I just assumed it was going to be all guys.
all
I thought it was
guys,
going to be
yeah.
all guys. That's so different to me.
Phase nailed. But something was off. In just a year, they secured million-dollar investments and appeared in top publications. That's only
headlines are
possible
wild.
if you have a really strong PR team and deep pockets. Otherwise, for Nutaku, this next strategic stage wouldn't have been as wild as it got. So, what's the first thing you do when you've got cash and you want to grow? And you have a good PR team? Exactly. You launch viral campaigns. And what better place to start than in men's...
That's not what you want to say in the porn industry. You don't want to say viral.
Viral, yeah, that's viral.
And campaigns.
Yeah.
That's viral. Ooh, super spreader.
to
That's not
women's
good.
bathrooms. Yep, that's what happened. Sponsored ads in toilet rooms at an industry event to recruit game developers. One for men and one for women. That's some pretty aggressive on-site marketing for a small studio that just got started. Anyways, the marketing continued with a New York art exhibition titled Hentai is Art, all to build the brand and get Western consumers a bit more comfortable
The Mona
with
Lisa?
concept.
The
Whoa.
Mona,
To get
Mona
them even more
Lisa.
comfortable,
Mona Lisa.
Nutaku came up with yet another expensive but clever campaign. Now I, Nutaku.
It's got more naked bodies than I've ever seen.
I doubt that. With over 500 games, Nutaku has the largest, hottest selection. You can play for free and even sort them depending on what you're into.
I'm
Do
uncomfortable.
you, Nutaku?
I
No.
don't Nutaku, but I'm sure this lady does.
I love incest. I think that as long as you don't have babies, incest should be legal.
Or this one. Both Pornhub ambassadors. Nutaku managed to feature porn celebrities in their games. One in Fab CEO and another one in Booty Calls. But if that's not enough to pull in millions of players, why not try Nutaku's hentai hot sauce?
I made a face, but it was mostly because I feel like that was not a good drawing of that one.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
second
yeah,
girl.
yeah, the
The
second
first
girl.
girl, I felt like there was a
Yeah.
big likeness. Second girl, I was like, did you
Completely
draw this
different.
yourself?
Yeah.
This is not you, dude.
Yeah.
An aphrodisiac for gamers to get them all fired up. And boy, did the community get all fired up. But hey, if that's not enough, why not launch a Nutaku-themed
I feel like there
adult-
had to be at least one person. You know that Hot Ones episode where the guy goes to pee?
Yeah.
And he gets it in his urethra?
Oh. Yeah.
This seems like the last activity that should have hot sauce around it.
Yeah.
No way! It's a terrible idea.
Is this company the reason why all these like hentai culture stuff is like coming into the mainstream now?
I thought it was just because animes kept getting popular.
Oh, that's fair.
That's what I thought. I thought as anime got popular, then hentai would get more popular
That's
as a spin-off, you know?
Okay, that makes sense.
But maybe it's
Yeah.
all Nutaku. Who knows?
old gamer chair with all the bells and whistles so you can get the full experience out of their games. Okay, I have to admit that was just a marketing gimmick by Nutaku, but their real, actual gamer chair did sell out in less than 48 hours.
What?
Just like
Hey,
their.
bro, they could have sold one.
Oh sure. Oh yeah.
We don't have their inventory.
They
numbers.
doubled-
I could sell out. I could just be like, oh, there's one, and then I could say it's sold out. If you just want to, if you're just trying to get, if you're not trying to make money off of that, and it's
Yeah.
just a stunt, because then people are like, oh, it's sold out. It's like, okay, come on.
We doubled our viewership from 1 to 2.
Yeah. My mom
Console.
bought it.
Yeah.
I bought it on 3 different cards.
It's Windows-based, silicon-covered, and comes preloaded with 200 free-to-play premium game titles. But if that's not enough, why not enter a prize pool of $10,000 for the best video that shows people playing Nutaku games while actually playing with themselves? Yes, that's Nutaku's prime example of a marketing campaign. But it doesn't stop there. Marketing has no limits, you must know. And so why
I mean,
not
I
launch...
feel like from a marketing standpoint, they're
Oh,
nailing
great.
it.
Yeah.
I feel like she's like, oh, this is a marketing campaign for them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a really good marketing
Yeah.
campaign. Just think about it. Like, who's watching the content creators who are making horny content? People who are horny.
Yeah.
And so they're probably very likely to play a horny game. I feel like that's exactly your target market.
I'm just trying to what. This is like such a
Culture shock?
yeah.
Like, this subgenre of the culture exists. I didn't know, though.
That is so.
I didn't. I thought that the gaming aspect was kind of in the way.
Sure.
of what I imagined the consumer was actually after.
I watch porn for the storyline, Wesley.
Like I would think like all of the gaming aspects would be
Irrelevant.
annoying.
Yeah.
And it would be about like the character designs.
Yeah.
And getting to the thing, because otherwise, wouldn't you just play a game?
Sure.
I get it
yeah.
if it's like maybe a dating simulator, but that's not the vast majority of the games from this that I can see.
Could you imagine if you were like really into this and you're like customizing a certain character and you're just spending all this money to unlock things?
I don't.
Maybe
get it.
that's the gimmick.
I don't know. Because I feel like you could just do that, but without the game. That just seems like it's in the way to me. But honestly, I also have said I don't play single-player games because I just get frustrated because I want the story. And I'm like, I don't want to have to beat the level. I just want the cutscene. I've like YouTube cutscenes and just like watch the compilation. So I'm probably I'm the wrong person to ask. But
Nutaku's first ever lewd gaming championship with a prize pool of $25,000. Again, all this costs. And there's no public information out there on who's funding Nutaku. But I've got you covered. Stick around, because it does get stickier, especially on their Discord channel. That's the glue that holds the entire marketing strategy together. I mean, Discord for game companies is standard, but their channel, it's not just active, it's on another level of active. In any case, with good gameplay, developers by your side, a crazy marketing strategy, expensive ad campaigns, and an active Discord community, you've not only grown, but generated a powerhouse of Western hentai gaming. Growth stage? Nailed.
she's having too much fun. With
Yeah,
this
she is,
She's
yeah.
having so much fun.
And now, Nutaku is raking in cash, featured in major publications, and their investment funds grow every single year. What's missing? Cutting-edge technology, that's what. In 2018, Nutaku added cryptocurrency as a payment option as there was growing demand for privacy in digital transactions, particularly in the porn industry. But again, for a growing company implementing this payment infrastructure this quickly suggests some powerful help behind the scenes. I mean, Nutaku seemed to have a knack for marketing, PR, and monetization right from the get-go.
If there's not some crazy puppeteering behind the scenes, I'm gonna feel like this is the biggest blue balls ever.
Yeah.
I hope there's something juicy. I can't even imagine what it would be, unless it's like, oh, Pornhub's behind
Pornhub,
this.
yeah, that's the only thing
that
that
would
I'm
be the
thinking.
only thing I can think of, or anything else seems so nefarious, doesn't it?
Imagine it's
So the
Nintendo
question-
this whole entire time.
It was the Nintendo CEO who got interviewed, and he's like, they're lying, they're misleading. And so he's like, I'm going to make a game studio in Montreal that's going to focus on actually advertising what the games are about.
question remains, who's really powering Nutaku's meteoric rise? The truth is, there's a much darker force
Mark
behind the
Zuckerberg.
scenes. And so let me tell you that behind these closed doors isn't just Nutaku pulling the strings, but one of the biggest titans of the porn industry.
Oh, it's gotta be.
MindGeek.
Oh, so it's just Pornhub.
What's
MindGeek owns Pornhub.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
I
it should.
didn't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Dude, we
Yeah.
nailed it. Hell
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Easy.
The shadowy corporation that owns pretty much every adult site out there. From YouPorn, Pornhub, Brazzers, Mofos, you name it. They own Nutaku, too. You might have heard of MindGeek before, but not in a good way. The Netflix documentary Money Shot uncovered MindGeek's complicity in allowing all sorts of illegal content, from rape videos to child pornography and sex trafficking.
Whoa.
It was a massive scandal that even led to angry mobs burning down the $19 million mansion of Pornhub CEO Faraz Antoon. After this, he stepped down as Pornhub CEO, but didn't disappear into the dark. No. Instead, he became MindGeek's CEO. And guess what? This CEO has a brother, who's none other but President of Nutaku himself, Mark Antoon. Yes, it's a real family affair over there at MindGeek. So while Nutaku
Come
is
back to that girl who was like, incest is fine.
busy marketing itself as this fun, innocent gaming site that wants to revolutionize the games industry one hand at a time, behind the scenes, it was all part of MindGeek's desperate attempt to rebrand and diversify in the wake of their public shaming. All those
I don't know.
aggressive-
I have a hard time buying it just because MindGeek as a company got some negative attention, but their actual business and products, I don't think they suffered whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I want to know when they actually bought this game developer.
Sure.
Because they were making real games. Like, did they just sell them? Like, it just seems... I want to know at what stage in the gaming company Nutaku's history were they bought by MindGeek?
Sure.
Was it when they were starting to be successful? Right. Was it at the very beginning? Because it makes sense to me that if they buy up all these different prawn sites, that they would also buy a semi-successful prawn. Like, it seems...
Yeah, just to be a monopoly.
Standard big company behavior.
Of marketing campaigns, top-tier PR, cutting-edge payment options, millions in investment funds. All these are MindGeek's influence at work. Their in-house company, Traffic Junkie, which is, by the way, in the same building, helped Nutaku to blast their ads all over the internet and reach millions of players. You see, Nutaku's Cinderella success story was no fluke. It was orchestrated, a strategic move to polish MindGeek's image, a classic case of corporate rebranding. But that's only half the story. It gets way darker, because MindGeek, loves data. Every time MindGeek hires a new person, they tell them that they'll take big data to the next level. Data is, after all, far better than cash in the bank for any digital company. And what better way to collect that data than through a gaming platform like Nutaku? Their games are designed to collect user behavior. Any puzzle, clicker, or strategy game has an inbuilt decision-making gameplay that tells them more about you than you know about yourself. What was shocking to me was that Nutaku's privacy policy outright reserves the right to collect information on pretty much everything you do on their site. From customization of content...
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't surprise me. That sounds exactly par for the course.
This is like, Insidious. Oh,
Guys,
by the way, Facebook does this too.
Yeah, everybody. Don't Facebook, fine, whatever. Don't do this stuff, guys. You're going to melt your brains. You're going to just fry your brains. This is such a bad idea.
Advertising and analytics.
Like, we're goofing around a lot. This is so
Nutaku can send
bad.
your data to anyone without restrictions. After all, MindGeek is just a web development company. Porn is merely a strategy for collecting user data. And so I wasn't surprised to learn that MindGeek is actually rebranding itself now to ILO, a rebrand that comes in response to the need for a fresh start.
That is creepy.
And so Nutaku may be the Cinderella success story in adult gaming, but MindGeek is pulling the strings behind the scenes. That's often how it goes in the world of business. The most impressive success stories are rarely as simple as they seem on the surface. Interestingly enough, on their LinkedIn page, Nutaku never explicitly reveals what they do or provide. I guess it's not exactly something you want to broadcast to the professional world,
Sure.
you know? And maybe that's the real lesson here. In the dog-eat-dog world of digital business, sometimes it's not just about having the best product or the flashiest marketing campaign. No, sometimes it's really just about who you know.
To be
Happy
fair,
ending.
I feel like they did a good job with the marketing, though.
Yeah.
So it's not just MindGeek did the good advertising for them, and they clearly know how to market. Like those campaigns were really good. You can't say that they didn't do a good job.
Yeah.
And it's crazy though they were able to get the porn celebrities. That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Because they're Mind Game employees already.
Yep.
So they're
Yep.
just like, come over here, do this one as well. It's like, oh, we own Coke.
Yep.
We want you to also do something. Our Coke
Zero or
marketing
Coke
guy,
Cherry, yeah.
jump over to that team and help them out for a day or two.
Yeah.
Oh man, I do think it's especially creepy to have a big data company involved because reproductive drive is one of the biggest drivers for human behavior in the world for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So the human race can procreate and continue to exist and thrive and survive. And I think it's really nefarious when you mix the big data
Yeah. Yeah.
and you mix that drive and you try to get people addicted to porn
Yep.
and basically like fry their brains and need this and keep on needing it so you can just kind of string them out and it's with a behavioral addiction.
Yeah, because there's tons of studies of like that, starting porn at a young age completely fries you.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
creepy.
Yeah.
And I feel that there might be even something worse, and that's probably why they were like, oh, if we are having them engage and do specific actions through the games, are we going to hook them more?
Yeah.
And with the in-app purchases, can we extract more value from them?
I bet.
And games are addicted.
Yeah.
Like people are addicted to games on their phone and end up spending tons of money.
Yep.
So I feel like it makes perfect sense why they would want to go into this industry. But dude, you got to watch out for anything.
Yeah. Interesting. This was an interesting
That
video.
was I thought it was really well made. But that being said, we love you guys. Thank you for watching. Let us know if you have thoughts. And for the love of God, don't play any mind game games.
No
okay?
Nutaku.
No Nutaku. Bye.